All right, y'all, we are back with another video, and here we go again. That corrupt judge, Arthur Engoron, is being investigated, and it does not look good, but it is a huge win for Donald Trump. This judge is so stupid, just like we've been talking about Arthur Engoron for the longest, that this judge is an idiot, and he has been caught talking to a lawyer about the case of Donald Trump's case. Knowing when you're a judge, you don't supposed to discuss a case with anybody, whether they're a lawyer, FBI, whoever it is. You do not supposed to discuss a case with anybody. And he has been caught. And this New York lawyer came out and said that he was trying to advise Judge Engoron, talking about he was telling him, make sure you get this right, because if you make the wrong judgment, you could ruin New York City. Even though he's telling Judge Engoron that. And he said that Judge Engoron was asking him questions. So it seemed like Judge Engoron is trying to get answers from a lawyer about what he should do to Donald Trump. And they saying it was 3 weeks before he ruled and tried to make Donald Trump pay that $454 million. So it's kind of like, did this lawyer put this number in your head and said that you should try to make Donald Trump pay this amount of money? So we're about to get to the bottom of it. We're going to go ahead and dive straight into this. But like I said, it's been investigated and it does not look good. But like I said, it is a win for Donald Trump. But like I said, make sure y'all please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody who's been staying to the very end. I appreciate all of you who watches the entire video, and let me know in the comment section that you do. But like I said, as you coming in, please hit that like button. It's very important so more people can see this corrupt judge for who he really is. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive straight into it. As you can see right here, the headline: high-profile New York lawyer says he tried to advise judge in Trump civil fraud case. All right. And then he said that a high-profile New York real estate lawyer whose law license was once suspended said he approached the judge presiding over Donald Trump's civil fraud case to offer unsolicited advice about a law at issue in the case. Attorney Adam Littman Bailey made the claim during an interview with NBC New York, saying he spoke to Judge Arthur Engoron 3 weeks prior to the judge's February decision to fine the former president $454 million for falsely inflating the value of his assets. The judge, through a court spokesman, denied impropriety and said he was wholly uninfluenced by Mr. Bailey. New York Judicial Oversight Body has now launched an investigation into the alleged interaction, according to sources familiar with the matter. I actually had the ability to speak to him 3 weeks ago, Bailey said during an on-camera interview with NBC New York on February 16th, the day the judge's decision was due. I saw him in the corner at the courthouse, and I told my client I need to go, and I walked over there, and we started talking. I wanted him to know what I think and why I really want him to get this right. See, that's what he already messing up at, talking about. See, this lawyer here is probably a lawyer who don't even like Donald Trump, and he's going over there talking to a already corrupt judge about, I want to make sure he get this right. What you mean you want him to make sure he get this right? Make sure he rule against Donald Trump, because at the end of the day, look what he tried to make Donald Trump pay. So if it weren't for the appellate court knocking it down to about $175 million, I wanted to do this lawyer had something to do with, influencing this already corrupt judge to try to make Donald Trump pay $454 million. This is where the problem is right here. So let's keep it going right here. They say, NBC New York asked a spokesman for Engoron whether the judge had spoken with Bailey about any legal issues surrounding the Trump civil fraud matter and whether the alleged interaction had been appropriate. No ex-parte conversation concerning this matter occurred between Justice Engoron and Mr. Bailey or any other person. The decision Engoron issued February 16th was his alone, was deeply considered, and was wholly uninfluenced by this individual, said Al Baker, a spokesman for the New York State's Office of Court Administration, in a written statement. In legalese term, ex parte describes a communication between a party or their legal counsel and a judge about a pending case without all the parties present. Bailey, who said he was no fan of Trump, was not involved in a civil case and is not connected to any of the 4 separate criminal cases against the former president, he said he knows the judge from having appeared before him as a litigant hundreds of times. See, that right there is the problem right there. If you take that back, he said he is no fan of Trump. Listen to the words there. This lawyer said he's no fan of Trump. So he's running over there, talking to Judge Engoron. And obviously, you just admitted, because obviously Judge Engoron is not a fan of Trump. Look at the crap he's trying to do to Donald Trump. And then you got this lawyer who don't like Donald Trump. What you think he was talking to Judge Engoron about? Make sure you get this right. Make sure you try to make him pay $454 million so because he ain't gonna be able to pay it. Make sure you get this right. I'm kind of convinced now that this lawyer is in with Letitia James, Fannie Willis, but then he's trying to lie to the public by saying that he had no influence on Judge Engoron trying to make Donald Trump pay this money. I'm just not buying it. I'm telling you now, I'm just not buying it. Then it say right here, it say, Bailey said he explained to him that a fraud statute at issue in the case was not intended to be used to shut down a major company, especially in a case without clear victims. He said such a ruling would hurt New York's economy. Engoron had rejected a similar argument raised by the Trump team in court. He had a lot of questions, about certain cases. We went over it, Bailey said. Baker, the court spokesman, did not reply when asked whether the judge has engaged with Bailey or asked questions. See, all this right here already don't sound right. It sounds like that he's in on this plan to try to take down Donald Trump as well. Because why is Judge Engoron even discussing a case or even allowing this guy to discuss a case with him? Why? You don't supposed to do that. And he's a judge and he don't supposed to discuss a case with anybody. This is the reason why he should be gone. He should be disbarred. He should be removed. It says state legal conduct rules govern interaction with judges about their pending cases outside of official courtroom proceeding. The New York State Rules of Judicial Conduct state that a judge shall not initiate, permit, or consider ex parte communication or consider other communications made to the judge outside the presence of the parties or their lawyers. The rules do not allow an exception to obtain the advice of a disinterested expert if a judge gives notice to the parties in the case and gives them the opportunity to respond. The New York State Commission on Judicial Conduct will now consider whether the rules of judicial conduct were violated in the instance according to sources familiar with the matter. The commission's administrator, Robert, declined to comment, citing a statute on confidentiality. Christopher Kise, a member of the Trump defense team, which has repeatedly criticized Engoron's handling of the case, said if Bailey claims are true, it casts doubt on the integrity of the process. The code does not provide an exception for where this was a small conversation or where it didn't really impact me or where this wasn't something that the judge found significant. Kise said, no, the code is very clear. Several experts consulted by NBC New York said the rules are meant not only to prevent outside influence, but also any appearance of outside influence. Retired presiding New York appellate justice Allen said that he has questions about Bailey's account. However, he said in a case consequential as the Trump civil fraud matter, if Bailey allegations is true, it would have been prudent for Engoron to disclose his interaction to both parties in the case. If there's any substantial dialogue about the law in a pending case, it should be disclosed, Snikeman said. So like I said, this right here does not see, and we already don't trust Judge Engoron. He ain't nothing but a liar. This man ruled against Donald Trump before the case, before the trial, the case, any of this started. He had already found Donald Trump guilty. That's how we knew from the get-go that this judge was a piece of. From the get-go, we knew that. We already knew that. He already had ruled against him. And see, now, all of this right here coming out against Judge Engoron, and then you got Letitia James already getting sued by a pro-abortion group. She getting sued by a hospital company. Like, this woman and Judge Engoron both needs to be gone. They both are corrupt. We see what they trying to do to Donald Trump. And now you got this lawyer who talking about that he already don't like Trump, and he running over there trying to tell Judge Engoron to make sure he get it right. And then, 3 weeks later, he come out with he want Trump to pay $454 million. Now, that's why I said before, I think I'm convinced that he has something to do with that. So, I mean, they ain't fooling me with that. But it's that right here. In a second on-camera interview with NBC New York, Bailey stood by his account but said he didn't think he or the judge had done anything wrong. Bailey said they only spoke about the law. We didn't even mention the word Donald Trump, Bailey said. When asked if he thought the judge understood him to be talking about the Trump case, he said, well, obviously we weren't talking about the Mets. So he's trying to be funny. Snyderman, who now teaches legal ethics at Pace University Law School, said the interaction described by Bailey is very troubling. It is. Facts. The fact that this lawyer made these statements unprompted during a recorded TV interview should raise serious concerns, Snyderman said. Professor Bruce Green, director of Fordham Law School Center of Law and Ethics, said it is not against the rules for judges and lawyers to talk about the law in the abstract. Judges don't have to live in a bubble, Green said. Whether a judge hallway conversation with a lawyer is permissible or impermissible depends on the conversation. A spokeswoman for the Attorney General, Letitia James, who brought and won the civil case against Trump, declined to comment on Bailey claims. Bailey has appeared as an expert for 2 decades in the New York Times Ask Real Estate column. In November 2011, he sued the Trump Soho condominium. See, look, that's what I'm talking about right here. He sued the Trump condominium, alleging that buyer was misled. In a settlement, Bailey clients got most of their money back, and Trump admitted to no wrongdoing. See, that's what I'm talking about right here. So this is a guy that sued Trump. And now he trying to say, well, him and Judge Engoron wasn't talking about Trump. Who is believing that? Nobody is finna believe that. So if you're somebody that sued Donald Trump before, and then this judge is trying to make Donald Trump pay all of this money, and you telling me you wasn't talking about Donald Trump to him, who's going to believe that? This right here is just ridiculous. This right here does not make any sense at all. Any sense at all. And they think that we stupid, that we going to believe this crap. We're just not going to believe this. Then it say right here, in 2019, a New York appellate court suspended Bailey's law license for 4 months for misconduct in 2 separate matters. Bailey improperly used his cell phone to take photos of witnesses during an arbitration hearing and threatened to share them with the media, court records show. In the other incident, Bailey told a tenant in a case that they should just kill themselves according to the appellate court's decision. New York's rules of professional conduct say that lawyers shall not state or imply an ability to improperly influence a judge, and I believe that's exactly what he was doing, trying to influence when he was saying that he wanted the judge to get it right, which means let's make Donald Trump pay all this money. Like we ain't stupid at all, man. And I'm going to keep saying that we are not stupid at all. We know exactly what's going on. Since February, both Bailey and the judge's spokesman have stopped responding to NBC New York's questions, declining to provide details that might shed light on the disparity between Bailey's account of a dialogue and the written denial from the court spokesman. The Commission of Judicial Conduct investigates alleged improprieties involving state judges. Of nearly 3,000 complaints filed in 2023, only about 200 resulted in an investigation according to the commission's data. About 1 in 4 investigations resulted in findings of wrongdoing, with consequences ranging from confidential letters of caution to a judge vacating the bench. Investigations by the Commission on Judicial Conduct are conducted in secret and can take anywhere from months to more than a year, according to recent annual reports. So there we go right there, y'all. So y'all let me know, what do y'all think about that, man? Like, I'm not believing it. This is a guy that sued Trump before. Then he got his law license suspended. And then he admitted that he don't like Donald Trump. That's basically what he said, that he don't like. He's not a fan of him. So if Judge Engoron is not a fan of Trump, obviously, and this guy's not a fan of Trump, obviously, he got his law license suspended. He's tried to sue Trump before. And you telling me he didn't try to influence the judge to try to take out Trump? And that's why Judge Engoron is being investigated now. This case should have never came. And at this point now, with all this coming out, this right here should be over. This case should be closed. And that's what I stand on. This case should be closed. Y'all let me know in the comment section, like, What do y'all think about all of this? Do y'all agree with what I said about it? Because I don't trust this guy at all, and I believe he had every influence on that judge to boost up $454 million and try to make Donald Trump pay it. So I'm not buying the lies that this guy is doing and saying. So y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think. Thank you all for watching, especially the ones that made it to the end, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.